Hello everyone, and thank you for visiting my module. My name is Alexandra Vera, and I'm a financial advisor, and I will be presenting on the introductions to the FIRE savings method. For this lesson, I will start with explaining why starting with your retirement savings right now is so important in this day and age. Then we will move to a fun introductory activity. Then we will go over the FIRE formula, introduction of the FIRE steps, and I will share an example for each step. And finally, you will complete the multiple choice quiz. Why FIRE? We will go over what FIRE is in a moment, but let's first go over why starting to think about retirement today is so important for you. Did you know that the average American family is only saving 10% of their income? Or that 40% of Americans would have trouble paying for a $400 emergency today? Also, 43% of Americans between the ages of 18 to 29 don't have any retirement savings yet. And 20% of Americans need to stay employed after the age of 63, which is the set retirement age, to cover living expenses. This is actually double than 30 years ago. Now, I want you to start thinking about your own retirement goals. What are your retirement goals? At what age do you want to retire, your goals for free time, your dreams and ideas? Please type your answer below, and when you're ready, you can click submit and move on to the next question. Now, I want you to attempt estimating the amount in dollars that you will need to have in your account to accomplish these goals. Again, when you're ready, you can click submit and move on to the next slide. Okay, let's start with a fun introductory activity, the retirement calculator. In this activity, you will use a retirement calculator to understand how varying inputs influence your possible age of retirement. Click on the link or go to playingwithfire.co/retirement calculator. We recommend using your real data first and then using hypothetical data to see different results. Once you're finished, you can move on to the next slide. Now, let's start with going over the FIRE acronym. What does FIRE stand for? The F stands for financial, the I stands for independence, the R stands for retire, and the E stands for early. Now let's go over what is FIRE. FIRE is a movement of people who practice FIRE savings principles by following some steps we will touch base on the next slides. Participants are normally middle-income earners. Participants use the FIRE formula, which we will go over on the next slide, to reach financial independence within the desired time. Normally, it's around 10 years for those that decide to reach full financial independence. Different types of FIRE exist. Not all FIRE members embrace traditional retirement or reaching full financial independence. Other methods like FIRE Coast or Lean FIRE exist. We won't touch base on those methods, but it is important you know that they exist as a possible tool for people who want other options. To understand FIRE, it is essential to go over what financial independence is. Financial independence happens at the moment when the money you earn from your investments cover your expenses. When you hit that tipping point, the choice to work or not work is yours, and you are in control of how you spend your time. Now, let's go over the FIRE formula. The FIRE formula consists of high savings rates. You need enough income to be able to save, plus frugal living or minimalism, plus low-cost stock index fund investing. It doesn't have to be stocks necessarily, but some sort of low-cost investing that provides you with passive income. This needs to be applied for an average of 7 to 12 years, and if everything goes to plan, the result is financial independence. Now, we will go over the FIRE steps. The first step is to create your happiness list. What are the top 5 to 10 things that make you happy on a weekly basis? Think about what you currently do that really makes you happy. Is it going to the gym, buying coffee, etc.? Think about your value system. Are you spending more on things that don't matter than the things that actually make you happy? Can you eliminate spending on those things? Discuss with loved ones. Everyone in your household needs to be on the same page, especially if you have a partner living with you. Align spending with your priorities. Spend on what makes you happy, and eliminate spending on other things that don't make you happy. Are you spending on a gym membership when maybe playing a sport outside would make you happier? Are you spending on takeout to save time when you could meal prep? Strategize to eliminate extra spending. An example would be a golf lover that eliminates spending on takeout to pay for a golf membership. Step 2 is calculate how much you have. Figure out where you currently are. Gather all of your accounts, your credit cards, any student debt, etc. Then calculate your net worth. Your net worth is assets minus liabilities. Add up all of your assets, including the value of a home, investing accounts, retirement accounts, etc. And then subtract any liabilities, which is what you owe in a mortgage, car, any debt, etc. Start making a plan on how much you need to save. An example would be a 40-year-old that decides to merge multiple 401k accounts to check how much they have saved for retirement. Step 3 is to figure out how much you spend versus save. Calculate your daily expenses. You can do it on paper, or you can use an online tracker like Mint or Rocket Money. Create a budget on paper, or you can also use an online budget app like EveryDollar. An example would be a 20-year-old decides to add all transportation-related expenses, noticing that he spends $400 per week on gas. Step 4 is to reduce the big three. The big three are housing, transportation, and food costs. Combining changes on these could increase savings for up to 30%. An example would be a 20-year-old who decides to find a roommate to split rent. They decrease their cost by 50% and then invest all of their savings. Step 5. Make your savings work for you. Eliminate high-interest debt first. Any high-interest student loans, credit card debt should be eliminated first. Then invest in index funds, mutual funds, real estate, bonds, etc. Then move savings from low-interest bank account to high-interest savings account. For example, traditional banks like Bank of America, Chase, normally offer 0.1% interest in savings accounts. Inflation is currently around 4% per year, so you are losing 3.9% of your money every year by leaving it there. Online banks like Capital One, Discover, or Amex offer around 4% of interest for having your money in their savings account. An example would be a 30-year-old who decides to move their emergency funds money from savings account with interest at 0.1% to saving accounts with interest at 4%. Step 6. Increase your income. Once you run out of expenses to cut, the way to grow your savings is increasing your income. This step is not 100% necessary to complete FIRE, but it can help you get there faster. Find side hustle ideas. Focus on hobbies that could potentially generate income. An example would be a former college tennis player decides to teach tennis lessons in the afternoons to generate more income. Step 7 is the final step. Find your FIRE community. Understand that it's gonna get tough sometimes. Most people won't understand minimalism and will push you to want to spend more. Surround yourself with people who support your goals. Find a community of people who have similar goals and values. It will make everything easier. An example is a 25-year-old female who joins a Women in Finance group to meet people with a similar vision as her. Now, click on the following slide to test your knowledge. A passing score is considered as passing with 80%. If you don't pass, we recommend rewinding this lesson and trying again. Now, I will go over some key takeaways that you learned in this lesson. Why start planning for retirement? Almost half of Americans are not ready for retirement, and we want to start changing that now. And where to start? Get to know your retirement goals and set a plan with FIRE. Use the FIRE formula in your favor, and use the 7 FIRE steps that we went over. Also, find a community that has the same goals and values as you. Some of the reference that I use for the module is playingwithfire.co, The Beginner's Guide to FIRE. They actually have a book and a movie that you can reference if you're interested in learning more about the subject. Other references that we used were Statista.com, Investopedia, and NerdWallet.com.